Paul, I heard the Beatles came out with a new song.
It's not like the Beatles got back together, but they have the big anthology. It's like Beatlemania all over again.
Here are four of the nicest youngsters we've ever had on our stage. The Beatles, bring them on! 1, 2, 3, da 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 da.
Let's talk to South Florida's foremost Beatle expert, nationally syndicated radio host, and old friend Joe Johnson, heard locally on Magic 102. Magic 102. And Joe hosts a show called Beatle Brunch, and this guy knows everything there is to know about the Beatles because the big anthology is happening.
It's coming up tomorrow night. It's going to be a big event.
Now, along with the anthology is a new song, which is kind of strange. How can you have a new Beatles song? Explain. And what's the name of it?
It's called Free as a Bird.
Oh, it's the remake of the Skinner tune.
Okay. That's Freebird.
Okay, I'm
Free
sorry.
as a bird.
A little confused there.
It's a song that Yoko gave to Paul McCartney when she met Paul backstage at John Lennon's induction to the Hall of Fame. And it was on a cassette with 3 other songs, and she said to Paul, now that all our problems are over, do something great with this. So he took it back to his private studio in England, and George Harrison and Ringo got together.
But not off a cassette. It had to be off, so they had to have masters of this somewhere.
She said it was a cassette, and what they did in the demo of the song was very rough, and they laid it down on multi-track, and Paul went back and played piano, and George played a slide guitar, and Ringo did his whatever he did.
Now, are we going to hear this song on the anthology?
What they're going to do is when the anthology's over, they're going to get you to watch the commercials, and they're going to come back and show Free as a Bird video.
And then radio will have this. It's interesting. They're sending it to radio stations via satellite Sunday night. So I guess radio will have it early Monday morning.
So you'll be able to play it Monday morning.
I look forward to it.
It's a big event because the first new Beatles record in 25 years.
They all still hate Yoko, though, don't they?
I think that's understood. No, actually, Yoko was a big part in getting them back together.
Now, I was in England last year, and I went to Liverpool, and I did the whole thing. And I understand you were there, and you brought back some video?
I have some video. You know, it's as good as a home guy like me can do, but some video of Abbey Road, some video of the tours that you take in London and Liverpool, and a nice little shot of Strawberry Fields where, you know, it's a very special place.
Being a Beatle freak, you must have been beside yourself.
It's really like going home. It's like putting a face to the voice, you know, when you go see where the Beatles grew up and you see John's house and Paul's house and you see Penny Lane and the roundabout and the barber shop and practically see the woman selling the poppies from the tray.
Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Remember I'll
Whatever happened to Pete Best? A lot of people don't know who Pete Best is.
It's a very sad story for Pete. Pete was the original drummer of the Beatles, and he did Hamburg and all the bad places with the Beatles in the early years. Well, he was fired 2 weeks before they recorded Love Me Do with George Martin.
I'll pretend that I'm kissing.
Pete Best works for the government, but just recently he's going to be starring in a production, like a musical production back in Liverpool that he'll star in as a drummer. And he's sort of formed a new band, and he's got a new CD out.
And do you think that there's going to be any other hidden John Lennon tracks that will, over the years, that we'll get to hear? Or is this it?
Well, I know that they did another song called Real Love. That'll be on the second night of the anthology.
Okay.
And there's planned to be a box set of Lennon outtakes from the years that he was in the Dakota working on his own, you know, and there was a show called the Lost Lennon Tapes.
And will the guys play along with them?
I don't think that that's going to happen, but, you know, it all depends on how big this record is, and I think it's going to probably debut at #1.
Hey, Joe, thanks a lot. Tomorrow night, the Beatle Anthology on ABC. What time's that?
9 o'clock to 11.
And then the song Free as a Bird the next day. Everybody will get to hear it on the radio.
On your show?
You got it, baby.
Thanks, Paul.